always helps.
Yes, that's why I wanted, like, before some physical interaction, it's better always to have a kind of introduction to each other and understand the perspective that in physical this meeting we can take it forward.
I know.
Yeah.
That's always better, and also because it's a very packed day, so
Are
there
you
will be
right?
too many people, and you will also be very extremely.
It's madness. It's around 80 speakers
Oh,
Oh, then I mean, over the 2 days, obviously.
over the two
But
days, and like we get around 500 to 700 people in that one, and then this kind of very senior this your from senior people from RBI, from ministry, and they do have their own, like, what do you call it, own trouble to be putting on sadhan. That we need this, we need that. But it is, one thing that we are very happy that we are running it for long, many years, for like
yes.
15,
Hmm.
16 years. Now
Hmm.
we are working in this segment for a long time. We have a bit of, like, understanding that who will ask what. So
Hmm.
we are prepared for all those challenges.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
Shubhalakshmi.
So it would be really great for us.
Yeah.
So obviously we know about Sagan and we know about the conference and the of course we don't know the final speakers and all of that. But anyway, maybe let me give the introduction and say that as to who we are and where we are,
Bilkul.
and that might be more useful.
Right.
So just to kind of quickly introducing ourselves. So my name is Subhalakshmi Chakravarti. So basically I'm from the banking sector. So I was with ICICI Limited and ICICI Bank for about 17 years in different verticals. So I was started in I'm basically from Kolkata. So I started in Calcutta. Initially after my chartered accountancy over there, had a short stint with Pricewaterhouse there, and then I started with the ICICI Calcutta. So those days it was project finance largely, and then I moved to Bombay, and I was basically heading the fixed income treasury in ICICI, and then I went on to head the corporate banking in North and West, and the platinum relationships, what we used to call, and then I was the country head of the rural micro banking and agribusiness. So that's where I obviously have a lot of connection with the MFIs and the all of these people. Actually, most of we they all worked with me. Uday, the people whom you know, Credit Access, Draven Kuta MD, Uday Kumar, and Govind
ICICI,
Singh of Utkarsh.
ICICI is actually a kind of like promoter of microfinance of the country. It is like lot
Yes,
of
yes.
our members they got.
Exactly. So I was there during that time, that largely in this rural between I would say 2004, 5, 6, when that was the time when it was
Evolving.
picking up. Yes,
Hmm.
yes. So then post ICICI, I was with Barclays for 3 years. I was a commercial banking director setting up the commercial banking business in Mauritius in the country. That time SBM was a branch, so we had 4 branches, and of course right now SBM is a wholly owned subsidiary kind of a status. And then after that, I was associated with a few NBFCs in the consulting position. I was with Fullerton. Fullerton also has a large, I mean, it's not MFI, but kind of Gram Shakti and all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then with Tata Capital and DBS Bank. In fact, there I was trying to do a lot of this connecting up for the priority sector lending with some of these MFIs, etc. And I've been in various banks. I've been sorry in various boards. I was actually on the board of NESFB, Northeast Small Finance
Hmm,
Bank,
hmm,
which
hmm.
also from the microfinance became
Hmm,
the
hmm, hmm,
the bank,
hmm.
etc. So I've been on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
board, and then I've been on the board of Caspian. Caspian has also been a large lender to these MFIs and all of these. And then IIFL Housing Finance, then Magma, now Poonawalla, General Insurance, and a couple of healthcare companies.
Hmm.
So now, in the meantime, around this post-COVID, we kind of I was on the board of Caspian that time, and we saw that the credit was drying up to the micro enterprises, while the larger corporates, etc., was getting liquidity from the banks, etc. But these MSME kind people were not getting credit. So we got into a discussion, myself, Prasad, who was the MD of Caspian, and then
Mhm.
Gita Goel is the country head of
MSDF.
MSDF. Yeah. So MSDF was doing a study that if credit guarantee can enable credit access to some of these micro enterprises. Okay, so the when we mean micro, it is really micro. It is like the ticket sizes, the loan ticket sizes starting from 50,000 rupees to going up to 20 lakhs. Okay, so it is basically the sector which is, if you think from an MFI perspective, it is who are graduating from the JLG to individual lending. But obviously, I mean, people at 20,000, 25,000, and all of that 75,000 continues as a JLG, right? I mean, of course, right now the JLG concept itself is gone from this RBI's new circular, etc. But still, people are continuing in that group lending, etc. But when these small borrowers graduate into the slightly largish kind of lending, and it is not possible to lend them in the group, you would know that then this individual lending kind of starts, starting maybe sometimes 50K, but largely 1 lakh, 1.25, 1.5, 2.5 times, right? What we have seen is that is a sector which actually faces the most difficulty, because in the group lending people get, but then when they graduate and after 2 3 4 rounds of lending, when they are actually ready to kind of expand, that is the point in time when it is a little, you would have seen all the MFIs also say that it's a little risky, why should we do? And some people are doing, definitely, some people are not. Okay. And then, of course, it starts from there, and it is micro and small enterprises, any of these borrowers. So the way the thing works is that, so basically we formed a from this company called Finrich Solutions. We registered in December 2020. I came in as the founder, CEO, MD to set up this institution with the help of investors, like the investors were like Northern Arc, this our
What is going
MSDF.
on, Sangeeta?
I don't know. We are in the garden. But good. So we are.
Okay, let's do it. Let's sit in the garden and on the same.
Yeah,
Or maybe in the
we can
recess.
enjoy. We can enjoy having a picnic garden.
Okay, okay, please tell. Uh,
Yeah, so I don't know. So Teams has this. I think there's some setting must have got changed. It
Yeah,
happened once in one of the board meetings, and it was hilarious. Actually,
so
suddenly.
maybe I think somebody would have clicked on the change view,
Yes, yes,
and
yes,
it would have been selected on the together mode.
yes,
Oh, okay,
yes, yes.
okay.
That
So
is
good,
one.
nah? Together
we are
in
on.
a
Yeah,
good mode.
So I hope everybody's back.
yeah, yeah, very much.
No, I'm not back. What is to be done?
No, so you go to the view,
How come?
View. Okay,
select
anyway.
Ah, view, view.
on the top, select change your
View.
view and select it to
Okay.
gallery mode.
Okay.
Okay, I have done it.
Okay. Yes, I
Yeah,
am
so
back.
then you will be back to the normal mode.
Okay.
Okay. No, but if one person does, it is for everybody, it becomes like that.
No. So maybe the organizer would might by mistake, or maybe there could be
Okay.
some error, but then everybody has to change it.
Acha. Okay. Good. No, so then that's fine. So anyway, coming back to our discussion, so this organization got formed with funded by investors like Omidyar Networks, Northern Arc, MSDF, Michael Susan Dell Foundation, Caspian, It's a Caspian MSME AIF, which is a joint venture between Caspian and Triodos Bank of Netherlands and Dwara Holdings. Okay, Dwara Holdings is the incubation partner, and so the whole idea is to see that if credit guarantee can facilitate giving credit to these MSMEs. So we started as a facilitation company. We are continuing as a facilitation company, but the whole idea is to get a license from RBI and become a credit guarantee institution, like how CGTMSE is doing in the public sector. Okay, so it is fully by government. So this would be a credit guarantee institution funded by private capital. Okay. So in the meantime, what has happened, because we are a facilitation company, so we have onboarded a few guarantee partners being MSDF, Northern Arc, then Caspian, etc. And very recently we have onboarded BII, which is British International Investment, which is the ex-CDC. Okay, so these are the guarantee partners who are guaranteeing directly to the lenders. The lenders being NBFC, MFI, SFB, banks, etc., for their MSME portfolio. So that is the whole concept. We as a facilitation company bring lenders on board and bring the guarantee partners on board, try to kind of connect them. We have developed a technology platform where these guarantees can be onboarded, and it can be viewed and everything, and we help the guarantee partners to settle the claims when the lenders put up the claims for the payment. Now when the claim comes is basically when a individual loan gets into default. Now what is default is defined as 180 days DPD. So after becoming NPA, after 90 days of NPA, whatever is the POS outstanding, the principal outstanding of a particular loan, 50% of that would be paid off. Okay. So that means the way it operates, think about it, that a limit is being given to a particular lender, let's say an
So it is
MFI or
50% guarantee on 180 days DPD, right?
180 days DPD POS.
DPD.
So whatever is the principal outstanding on the 180 days, 50% would be paid off. However, there is a stop loss on the pool. So we do it on a pool basis. So that's what I was explaining. So if it is a 50 crore pool or a 50 crore limit, which has various lendings which has come, let's say 50 crore has 1,000 loans or 5,000 loans, 1 lakh each or 4.5 lakhs each or whatever. So while the guarantee will get attached to each of these 1,000 or 1,500 loans, and each of these loans when it gets into default will be paid, but up to maximum 5% of the 5% is a stop loss. So that means on these 50 crores or 100 crores, 5%, let's say 100 crores for the ease of calculation. So 5 crore, up to 5 crore, the claims will be paid. So 5 crore is covering up to 10% loss because we are paying only 50%. So that means the lender also has to have a skin in the game, because finally it is a lender who's choosing these MSMEs and lending, right? Based on their own underwriting policy and all of that. So that means up to 50%, up to 5% stop loss, which is like a 10% loss, we would pay up to 5%. But it will be paid loan by loan by loan as it is going into a NPA, 180th day, and that is how it works. So basically, the whole idea is to enable credit where credit is not taking place. So we felt that MFIs, and because I had some discussion also with few large MFIs, and they feel that individual lending, while some of the large MFIs have started doing the individual MSME lendings post JLG, but a medium and the smaller MFIs are still becoming a little bit nervous and risk averse. And if you see the latest RBI guidelines, 25% they allow on the individual lending, right?
Non-qualifying asset.
A non-qualifying asset. But even in the qualifying asset also people can do individual, because they are not saying that you have to do JLG.
If you are talking about individual lending, if you uh, see the model of JLG, it is at the end of the day, it is individual. Only there is this group guarantee because we cannot accept any guarantee for anyone. So for that reason, it is at the end of the day, it is very, very individual
No,
lending.
no, it is
Yeah,
it is individual, but
right.
we have not started the JLG because we have still not been able to because see the loan which we guarantee should not have another guarantee. Now in the JLG format, what happens? There is some kind of a joint guarantee, etc. So
But
we
no,
have
no,
not.
it's not non-financial, it's non-financial. This group
Yeah,
guarantee is non-financial.
correct. So, any case, at this
Uh,
point in time, what we have started is the individual. I mean, later
ठीक है,
on we may move into JLG. That's a
ठीक
separate
है,
issue. But
ठीक है.
currently, it is like a individual. Okay.
Okay.
So, in this individual lending, so what we believe is that many of these MFIs, when if we can help them to move post JLG, the borrowers who have graduated, because if they are 25,000, 30,000, 40,000 ke baad, when they have graduated into something and they can be given 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh, 1.25 lakhs, those individual loans can be guaranteed and 50% would be paid off. Now the issue is it is actually not a very risky credit in that sense. Why? Because these are graduated borrowers, right? So these are not like fly by night operators, right? Because these have been with the MFIs for the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and now they have become bigger. It could be the same dairy farmer. It could be the same, she bought one cow, two cows. Now it is becoming five
Yeah,
cows or
yeah,
something like
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Very much,
And they
very much.
can try
They
to
are.
now small dairy unit types, this collection of the raw milk. So they also need, I mean, from that perspective. So I'm giving an example of dairy farmer, but it could be anything. It could be a
Anything.
small textile
Yeah, yeah,
unit,
I can
something.
understand that one. Yeah, I can understand that one. And also like individual lending, you are taking the segment of 50,000, right?
It's
50,000,
starting from 50,000 to 20 lakhs, but
20 lakhs.
we have seen generally it is 1 to 1.5 lakh, 2 lakhs. So for example, I'll give you an example. So we have just now done and it has concluded with, you will be knowing Annapurna Finance, which is an
Mm-hmm.
Annapurna microfinance
Right, right.
entity in Bhubaneswar. So they have taken a limit and on their unsecured individual loan book, which is basically the same only, like the chota walas. I think what is the ticket size over there, Jigar? I think about 1.5 lakh, right? I'm not
Yeah,
remembering
yeah,
what
yeah.
is the
Average
huh?
ticket size is around 1.5 lakh kinds.
If
One
it
and a
is
half.
individual, if it is graduated individual client,
Exactly,
then
exactly.
only.
I'm telling you, it is a graduate. See, we are not, even for Annapurna, we are not doing the JLG. We are doing the unsecured individual loans, which are those individual loans. Ah. So we have already done, of course, already they have a large unsecured loan book and they're continuing and within that 25%. So for them, it is not a new deal. It is just that will enable them to, diversify the risk, etc. But the whole idea was that to work with MFIs, which could be small, big, medium, whoever it is, to see if there are people who are thinking of these individual loans but are thinking twice and therefore is in the verge of starting but not yet started types.
But Shubhalakshmi, one thing that these small MFIs whom we are talking about, they don't have much of 1 lakh rupees loan. First thing. Second thing means, and they're the one who is having crisis of getting your this lending. Second thing. So if we are thinking of 1 lakh of rupees and individual lending for the smaller MFIs, then there is a challenge for us in
No,
the
so it need
segment.
not be smaller, it could be bigger. See, if Annapurna Microfinance could
It's a big
pay,
institution. It's a big institution.
no, and what I'm trying to say is that they need not have already a book. They see, this is not necessarily that they have to have a book. We are doing it on a flow basis. That means like even for Annapurna, it would be on something they already had a
Fresh
go. So on
origination.
that we are giving on a stock basis, but the rest of it would be flow. Flow means what? A
Hmm.
limit is given.
Right, right.
Let's say a 50 crore limit is given. Now Annapurna is big, they can take big limit.
Hmm.
To the small MFI, it can be a 10 crore limit. Okay.
Hmm.
So they start, let us say, okay, means like over the period of next 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, they can consume the 10 crores with or 5 crore or whatever, I don't know, I'm just saying. And based on the underwriting policy which has been decided, based on the underwriting parameters that has been decided, based on the rule engines which has been decided, post the limit, whatever loans they are originating backed by that policy parameters will qualify for the guarantee. So they will originate and a guarantee will get attached. So one by one till the limit is consumed. And on that amount, for 3 months may, whatever loans have got originated, that can be formed as a pool and a guarantee can be, I mean,
Yeah, yeah, I
so
am getting the thing. Just I'm trying to understand that how what kind of portfolio they do have, what kind of individual lending these smaller MFIs do have. So we have to understand that one. But Shubhalakshmi, one thing that you have come in a very right time, because we are doing something around your this infusion of your this finance in the smaller MFIs. This is one we are doing. Second thing, we are also organizing one event. It's in January on this lenders and lenders MFIs meet. So where we can also bring this your institution, and we can give you a space to discuss about this project. And because personally, I was working with this your credit guarantee project with ADV and Nabsamruti, but ADV has taken whole world's time, and by that time, everything. I mean, your this COVID thing, impact of COVID has gone. So we don't need it anymore. Still, they are pushing, but I don't need that one anymore. So we are looking forward for different credit guarantee mechanism for different institutions. So it would be very good to take it forward. So I mean,
okay.
Shivalakshmi, one thing should not fit everyone. So we have
No,
to
no,
come
it
up with
can't. It
different.
can't.
So we have to
Obviously.
differ. Your space is something, then other credit guarantee mechanism is something. So we can always think of converging all those things and come up with a very strong thing. I'm very happy that Ragini has communicated to us, and we can take it forward for sure. And I mean, apart from that, let me also introduce that
Okay.
I'm Shoaib, and by name you can understand.
Yes.
So I hail from Durgapur, and
Okay.
after my
So by the way, my name actually is pronounced Shubholokhi.
Shubaloki, yes.
So, but I mean, nobody will be able to like the with the ease you could say Shubholokhi.
Uh,
If I ask Jigar, he will not be able to do that. So that's why I
yes.
call myself
Very
Suba.
difficult, I know.
Huh?
Not possible.
See, you see the ease with which he immediately said Shubholokhi.
uh,
It
Yeah.
was impossible. I have figured it out. So I call myself Suba.
so, Shivaloki, that this is what. So I come from this Durgapur, and after my masters, I wanted to. I have a background of like working with some. My nana is very famous freedom fighter over there. So
Oh.
I worked with them for several years, but then I started professionally. I started working with DFID's project. There was a big project of DFID of this. Poorest area civil society. Then I worked over there for a couple of years in Jharkhand. Then I went to Africa for several years. Then I came back and I started working in this segment. In between, I have done my PhD. All those stuffs are there, and so this is what. And I in Sadhan I look after this. This policy. And then your member engagement and industry building side. So your thing will be very fit for us for industry building.
Yes, yes, yes.
Industry building, that your contribution. will be in some segment and others' contribution will be some segment. So it's very good that you have come and let us work together. Let us
Yes.
bring up a segment where your product is also apt for them. And Sangeeta, my colleague, she
Mm.
is working in this segment with us,
Okay.
especially in the in this building the convergence and capacity building. So we are working together in this space. So we will be communicating with each other and
Mm.
let us meet in our national conference. I could understand properly. So let us bring up a segment where you will be fit.
Yes. So
Your guarantee will be fit.
let me tell you. So one, even at right now, let's say we have already done it in a microfinance institution called Annapurna. So
Hmm.
that's a use case.
Ah.
Okay. Now, of course, we have done in other NBFCs also. For
Hmm.
example, we have done it in regular NBFCs like a
Right.
Kinara Capital,
Right.
like a Indifi. You will
Ah.
know
Hmm.
some of these.
Hmm.
We have done in a institution which you would be knowing called Satin FinServe.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Satin Credit, so I had met HP Singh, okay,
Hmm.
and Kataria, etc. So they said that it is very apt and we would like to do it for the individual loans. But in their case, the individual loans are happening in Satin FinServe
Right.
because
Right.
those individual loans na, that
Right.
they're doing. So we did it in Satin FinServe. Okay.
Hmm.
Then we have done it in Arthan, etc. So there are, these are
You have
some
done it
companies
in
that
our
Arthan.
Arthur.
Arthan
Acha.
is not a
Acha. Okay.
microfinance, it is a
Yeah.
regular
Yeah.
NBFC.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm telling you all types, some regular NBFC, some subsidiary of an MFI like a Satin FinServe, some
Hmm.
MFI itself like a Napurna. So I'm giving you examples where it has already happened. It is
Hmm.
not like a new thing like people have to understand or something. It has already happened. And if Annapurna has taken it and it is for a large amount, they have signed it up for 100 crores kind of a thing. Okay,
Hmm.
so 57 crores has happened just now and the remaining will happen. So anyway, that's a separate issue.
So
But
one thing,
I'm
let me
saying,
understand from you that are you giving guarantee to the lenders or you are giving guarantee to the okay, guarantee to the lenders.
to the
Yes.
lender, so
Lenders means
let
not microfinance institutions.
microfinance institution. So Annapurna
Okay.
is a microfinance
No, no,
institution
no.
only.
I'm trying to understand that are you giving this one this your
Guarantee.
guarantee to the institution, microfinance institution, or to the lenders who are lending to them.
So it could be either which ways,
Okay.
but I'm saying in this case it is a retail lending. It is a retail guarantee.
Hmm,
So
hmm, hmm,
again,
hmm,
if I go
hmm.
back with the name, let us
Retail
say
guarantee. ठीक है. I
Annapurna
got it. Retail
is
guarantee.
lending to 2, 3 lakhs kind of 1 lakh kind of people. So the guarantee is being given in this case by MSDF to
Hmm,
my to Annapurna, saying that the MSME loans which you have given or in the process of giving this 1111 lakh loan, if any of these turn 180 days DPD, then let us say a 1 lakh loan has become a default, 50,000 rupees will be paid. I'm just taking an example. It could be a 2 lakh loan, then 1 lakh will be paid. Okay. So this is given to Annapurna to enable Annapurna to take more risk and lend
agree. I
to.
know that one. This is the process of credit guarantee. Only thing
Correct.
I was trying to understand that whether it is to the retail agency, they're like microfinance institutions. There are a couple of this credit guarantee mechanism who works directly with the lenders. So we have talked, we have actually linked them with the lenders themselves, means who are lending to the microfinance institutions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it is not at a whole. So this is what we have started right now is not a wholesale
this
wholesale
is retail
guarantee.
guarantee.
This is retail guarantee.
ठीक है,
Now
ठीक है,
it can
perfectly fine.
also be linked with the lender in the fashion of, let us say, some microfinance institution has made a pool. It can be sold to the lender like a bank, or can
Hmm.
be a
Hmm.
co-lending.
ठीक
Sometimes
ठीक
what
ठीक ठीक ठीक.
happens that the larger institutions, they have the
Hmm.
capital but they cannot get to those small borrowers, right? But they can do a co-lending kind of a situation with these
Hmm.
small MFIs, where the small MFIs can go and originate and
Hmm.
80% will be taken by the big lender like a
Hmm.
bank or a
Hmm.
larger NBFC or a larger MFI, and the
Hmm.
smaller one. So even people like Annapurna uh, is also doing that. So
Hmm.
they are having origination done by chota MFIs also. Okay, so but we have not done that. We have just done Annapurna's own lending. But I'm
Hmm.
just saying that another use case could be that one small MFI is originating for and doing a co-lending 20/80. So he keeps 20 in his book and 80 in the bank's book, or the 80 in a larger MFI book, because he
Right.
does not have the capital, but he gets fees, etc., for doing that. So that is an income for him. And the larger MFI, the larger bank gets a 80% of that loan.
Right.
So
Right.
we
Right.
can do a guarantee on this co-lending transaction where the guarantee will be given on the entire loan. 20% will be given to the MFI and 80% will be given to the lender. In
Okay.
this case, the bank.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So that can also be a
Okay.
structure.
Okay. Okay. Perfectly
Huh?
fine. So
Huh.
perfectly fine. How to take it forward, Sangeeta?
So I was just thinking that in this particular conference, do you think any larger MFIs are there who will can immediately, like your like Annapurna types? Who are the larger MFI, larger SFB? Anybody I can get introduced to or
Everybody,
something?
everybody will be there. You take the name, and they will be there.
Okay, but how do we do this? Means, see, I have a problem. I am there only on the 8th for in the morning half up to lunch, because I have some meetings and board meetings and all that. But Jigar will be the okay. Let me introduce Jigar. Jigar is our chief business officer. He comes from CGTMSC. So he was the business head and operations head in CGTMSE, and he was doing all these large, guarantee kind of lendings in
Hope he is not
CGTMSE.
Sarkari type.
No, no.
No, no, not at all. He prior to CGTMSE, he was with ICICI Bank and Yes Bank and all of that. So he comes from the not with the Sarkari mindset.
I'm
Ah,
saying, yeah.
you're on mute, Jigar. Mm.
I was a lateral hire, the only lateral hire with CGTMSE.
Sorry, huh? Sorry.
No, no, no worries.
So I'm saying that if I know it's a very very busy schedule and not issue at all, but since we have met and if there are people, we can just get introduced during the tea breaks or the lunch breaks or something. I don't know how it will happen, but if there is a possibility, we could do that. Otherwise, we can anyway see separately.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, see, the thing is that if me or Sangeeta, you tell that, okay, we want to get introduced with this institution, I'll be happy to be making you introduced over there. That's not at all a problem. Second thing, you yourself will see many of these speakers are basically from the microfinance, this big microfinance, small microfinance. You will get a sense of it. So so after your interaction, what we can do, we can have a second level of meeting in between you and us. Then we can put it in our this lenders members meet. Then you can talk about this one and you can take your business forward. So,
Okay.
and yeah, so that can be a very good process. And if you are Southern member,
So at the
if you
moment, I
have
think.
any product, then we
Mm,
can also publicize it.
okay, understand.
So this is what we do, support, and also like in credit guarantee discussion, if we are having any credit guarantee discussion, there is some Samita, I think you have to mute yourself. So if there is any other, like we do a lot of policy dialogue with RBI and other. So if you are our member, we can also bring you in all those discussions. That's what we
Okay,
do. And
okay,
third
understand.
thing, yeah, and the third thing that what we do is also like if you need to. I mean, lot many institutions they do not understand the credit guarantee mechanism, especially of this segment. So we also take your help to like build up their capacity on accessing understanding and accessing the credit guarantee mechanism. But there is one request to you from our end. I have a meeting in some time because
Yeah, yeah.
this I'm with Zuri on some award.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
for
So,
that reason. So
we had
anyway,
only
so
half an hour, so we are done now
no,
actually.
it's fine. So now if we have this your northern British international this thing, then if you immediate we communicate, then MSDF all of a sudden I don't know. So if they can also invest something in our smaller MFIs to start this new product, will also be good.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so all that discussions we can do, subsequently. Now to,
right,
we will just come. I thought that
right.
let us just get introduced to each other, so that in the conference it would be very difficult to find each other only, because it would be very crowded. But we
Yes.
can exchange telephone numbers. Do we have, Jigar, their contact
My
numbers and all?
my contact number is always there.
Ah, okay. So
Yeah.
my contact number is also there on my signature. So
Yeah.
we can basically, if nothing else, we can at least try to call each other and see if we can find each other in the conference somewhere
Yeah.
and have a quick
You're and
discussion.
so let Sangeeta and Jigar be in touch, and like
Ah,
we can take it forward from there.
yes,
And
yes, yes.
Sangeeta, let me introduce Sangeeta. Sangeeta is a very senior professional, and Sangeeta has lot of contributions, especially in the segment of this your livelihood development.
Ah, okay.
She is ex basics, and she has worked for different institutions, and says, I mean, even more experience than me.
Yes,
And
yes,
Sangeeta is,
sure.
we work together. Yeah.
Very good, very good, very good. Okay, so look forward to
Yeah.
meeting both of you, and we'll
Yes,
be in touch
yes.
and we'll talk to each other and figure out
Yeah.
whom to get
Yeah.
introduced to.
Yes.
Okay, thanks,
Bhalu
thanks a lot.
Teko.
Thank you.
Thanks. Ah,
Thank you.
bhalo.
Thank you.
Apni
Bye
Bye.
baat
bye.
karo.
Bye.
ठीक है. Okay.